Thank you for joining me. Today's going to be something a little different. We're going to have some fun today. You know, kind of put doing this off for a while. We're not going to open packs. I just realized as I'm buying packs and endlessly ripping, I'm like, this isn't, it stopped losing the novelty. And then it just seemed like a waste of money. And there's so many other things you can add to your collection rather than just ripping endless packs. So today we're going to look at my modest little collection. Most of you will laugh. I'll show you what I've been focusing on. I'll show you what I kind of stopped buying. And I'm open for suggestions. I'm trying to organize this thing here. And I'm open for ideas because I'm looking to condense. So let's go. We'll start with the obvious. Do this one for you, Darth. Thank you if you're new here. This is just a casual collector sharing my collection here. Old man getting back into it. So yeah, Bo was everything, man, back in the day. So I have all of the staples. This Leaf one's pretty, kind of a rare one. But yeah, this is what I first started buying singles. Dust. All the classics, opening day. A lot of these you've seen. Got doubles of some of these. Another Leaf, that's a cool one. 88, some standard stuff. 88 Topps, 88 Fleer. I guess this is in order pretty much. At the Bo Jackson, I think one of these might be, I think it's in my graded. I do have a glossy. There's the old score we got not that long ago. Some doubles for sure. A lot of Bo Jackson. Ton of these. So yeah, back, I would say 2021, maybe the end of 2020, I just started buying some of the old junk wax, and I pulled a bunch. I got a bunch of boxes of the what was it, 90 Score football and 90 Donruss. I think there's some errors mixed in here too. I don't get too long-winded, but at the same time, this is more just chilling and looking at my cards. I mean, if this is not for you, obviously you're probably long gone. But if you just want to see what other people are collecting, this is what I'm collecting. Pack pulled that, was super happy. Bunch of these I did. So yeah, I mean, if I can pack pull something, sure, I'm going to go for it. But I'm not going to spend $200 chasing, trying to get that. You know what I mean? It's just for me personally. All the bows, the glorious, glorious bows. These are all, I would say 90% of these are all pack pulled. That one we have. This one I bought when I was just buying singles. This one as well. I just thought it was a pretty cool, for a newer card, I thought it was pretty neat. Hello, my name is. Something different. Yeah, pack pulled that sucker. And to me, I do enjoy, obviously, pack pulling things. That's the joy. That's how you recreate the moments when we were kids. That's its own thing, and it's worth, definitely worth something. But how much is it worth? I don't know. It's not worth. To me, it just seems silly at a certain point, and it loses the fun. So here we're in the Bo Jackson. I found this set too a while back. I don't know if somebody homemade this set or if it's just some kind of like, I don't know what this is, but I bought it. It was cheap. I thought it was cool. It had all the sports, tennis, pretty much just like the commercial. Really cool. And then these here are just top-loaded specimen that I just thought were extra special. This was like an anniversary type. You guys probably know more about these cards than I do. But I just liked the card and didn't overthink it. I'm not getting ripped off or trying to get something verified. Here's the best one I pulled from that batch. I would call that a 10. I mean, I even got the measuring stick out for that one. But I don't need PSA to tell me that it's a beaut, because I know it's a beaut. This one I know is 9-ish, maybe even 8-ish, but I don't care. This one I did get out of the supplemental set. There he is. And a lot of this is standard stuff, but to me, I like standard. This is the stuff that we enjoyed. These are the games I watched. Oh yeah, this is the best ones I could find. I just put in a one touch. So this was the best example of the 87 that I pulled when I bought a few boxes of that. But I just don't feel the need to keep going through and opening up 87 Topps and 88 Topps. It just, for me personally, there's so much more ground to cover in collecting in general, not just, junk wax. I don't need to just open wax to have fun. In fact, I found that I'm having fun doing a lot of this other stuff. I don't know if you guys remember the old Action Pact with the bubbly embossed front. This was a cool one too. 8-bit ballers. It's something newer, but I just thought it was awesome looking, so I snagged it. But this is the stuff I want to display up on that shelving I was talking about. These I really thought were neat. That's just the cover got screwed there. That's just my little, got scratched up. But these are awesome. These Project 70 cards are cool. They're really thick too, but that's awesome card. Look at that thing. So I want to get this stuff up and on display. Here's another one I got. Project 70. Just thought it was a pretty neat design. So there's that. Then we go into Jose Canseco. And again, I understand this isn't exciting. I'm documenting this for myself too. So as my collection grows, I can see where it kind of started. This I grabbed not that long ago. Like a card like this just gets me so psyched. Like even I haven't seen this in a couple weeks, and just looking at it now just gets me all excited all over again. And then just more stuff I picked up along the way. Oh, that awful looking Diamond King. It's so ugly, it's beautiful. But, you know, standard fare here, guys. I'm sure you guys have all this stuff. And I guess I got it too. But I'm just kind of showing you where I'm at with my collection. I'm going to be 47 in April. So I'm a 70s baby, 80s kid. Always loved that card. It's an awesome card. But see, down the road, like, I wouldn't mind the Tiffany version of that. Those are things I kind of want to upgrade to. A lot of standard fare here, guys. You know all this stuff. But when you haven't seen this in 30 years, until recently, it's just like an old friend. You know, that's what I feel like. I feel like it's just getting reacquainted with an old friend. And some of these I did pack pull, like this one. And I never did as a kid, because I started collecting, I want to say maybe, I think I just started collecting in 89, I think, or 88. So we weren't going over the, I think this was the first McGwire ever pulled, and this was like an old pack. Look at this. In 1990, this has gum. I saved it because it's just bubbling, and this one took the gum. But it's beautiful in its own way. You know, I got a nice copy here, and we got the old gum. We do have the error somewhere. It's a corrected one. I guess the corrected one's harder to find than the error. Anyway, just fun little stuff. You know, this is the fun. Every now and again, I'll get something like that Johnny Bench that was a bigger score. But I mean, even that cost me what, $12 or something. So this is fun. And a lot of this stuff I have quadruples of. I don't need to have hanging out in here. So I'm going to go and kind of start to whittle away. So we only need really one example of each of these. Ricky Henry. Let's look at something a little more exciting. So recently, I have been excited about singles like this. Like this stuff. This is awesome. This is like super exciting for me. And the fact that I can afford it at this point, Gaylord Perry. Life is ever changing, and so is our bank accounts, at least mine anyway. So, you know, as things change, you know, you got to adapt. There's beauty in all kinds of stuff. Even with the guitars, it's the same thing. I've had tons of guitars, dozens, stuff worth $10,000. And what do I grab? I grab the $500 Strat I started with, you know. There's beauty in everything. I'll show you some. And usually the stuff we find we like the most is the cheapest stuff, like this Eddie Murray. Awesome card. These are some recent pickups I didn't share with you guys yet. This one is just so cool. 85, I believe. 83. And I'm loving going through and, you know, catching up on the stuff that I just missed out on when I was a kid. Like this 84. I wasn't collecting when I was 5 years old, but, you know, then when I was 10, I was into guys that I was watching, Bo Jackson and Canseco. And as I learned about guys like him, now that I'm older and come back to the hobby, now I'm really loving this stuff. 70s and 80s. It's really been wetting my whistle here. Let's see what else we got. You know, Kirby Puckett, Typical stuff, Bobby Bonilla, Griffey, and then standard Griffey. Now, to me, this is the Griffey card. When I was a kid, like this was the one we were trying to chase. Maybe it was just my neighborhood or my group of friends, but this was the one. And my favorite one is this one. And I'm sure I'll grab the upper deck. I don't have that one, but at some point I'm sure I will acquire it in some fashion. This was always a cool one too. You know, just typical old guy collection here. Not that old, but you know, Saberhagen. Was a huge fan of him. I was a pitcher when I played ball, so I was a big fan. He was hot when I was a youngster. Doc Gooden, Will Clark, Roger Clemens. It's funny, I do like Roger Clemens, but I'm not a huge, gigantic fan, but I did have to make him his own slot there. Pete Rose, George Brett. Miscellaneous Hall of Famers. Let's go through this. So here's just some cards along the way. And as I watch games, as I become an old, you know, as an adult man, I get new favorite players like Joe Morgan and this guy, George Foster, Lou Whitaker. One of my guys is coming up here, I'm pretty sure. Dave Winfield. Some of these guys aren't Hall of Famers. I just call them Hall of Famers. So, yeah. Ben Ogilvy. There's a guy. George Foster. There he is. One of my guys, man. I love George Foster. Guy is a beast. So I like going through and catching all these old games. And getting new favorite players, even in my 40s. I mean, the games are up. I recommend go and watch them, enjoy them. Every evening I'll fall asleep to a game. Eric Davis. Got his rookie in there somewhere. At least I thought I did. Anyways, Don Mattingly, Nolan Ryan. There's some cards of his I like to get. Ricky Henderson. This has really been. Let me just grab a stack of Ricky here. This is my favorite section of the box here. Oh yeah, look at that. This is the stuff that really. This is my favorite. Man, these are just so. These are cards that are so cool. I can't believe I own them. And you know, I don't care who laughs. I just think these are amazing. That might be my favorite one. These are just all so gorgeous. What a player. I mean, he's just the coolest. So really, the Ricky Henderson is really what ignited like the second wave. Man, look at that thing. These are just the coolest. The Ricky stuff is definitely where my heart is. I would say Ricky, Bo Jackson, and Canseco's not far behind just because, man, he was just my guy when I was a kid. And I didn't know any better. I was a kid. Look at that sucker. And as an adult, you know, I understand, man, things get crazy. People do stupid things and do stupid shit. So I try to separate the man from the player. And ideally, I mean, if you're a total piece of shit, I won't collect you. I mean, he's, you know, he's on the edge. But, no, I mean, there's a point. You know, I do got to feel good about it. But don't let anyone tell you how to collect. Kirk Gibson, this is another guy I love to collect, and I've loved him ever since '88. I know. How can you like him, Jay? You're an A's fan. I don't know, man. I was a kid. I just liked it all. A kid from Western New York. I didn't really have we had the Buffalo Bisons. And in fact, I'll show you back to here's funny shit. I'm making a thing called funny. It's funny stuff and random, nostalgic, like this Bob Welch. That's so nostalgic to me. Here's the Billy Ripkins. I don't know why I got this in nostalgic. These are the other two I had, which is the saw cut. Here's the old saw cut. I should display this. And then the standard. Have that in my nostalgic area. Personal miscellaneous. If you look at my personal miscellaneous, a lot of Jeff Manto. I used to watch him as a Buffalo Bison. And also collect his major league cards. So lots of cool stuff. These are all this is all memories. This is the kid that I feel like when I'm looking at this stuff. Oh, it's terrible. I feel like this kid all over again when I'm going through the cards. Now, that's the whole point of this. That's the whole fun. All right, as we mosey over here, just wrestling, as it says, some of my more favorite. Pulled that from a pack a couple Christmases ago, and I overpaid for a couple of packs, but at least I got the Hogan. But man, those were like $25, $20 packs. Probably wouldn't do that again. A little bit of a ding there, but it's my Hogan. I seen that when it came out of the pack like that. I know. I thought it was a. It's just it's packs. Got this one too. Pretty cool. This is a nice piece. I got that as a gift from my best friend, Burt Young autograph. I'm a huge Rocky guy. Just some cool miscellaneous stuff. I'll show you some of it. Some of the packs I've opened. I mean, again, this is for 47 like me. This is a hoot. All right, Kurt Rambis. I could spend all day on Kurt Rambis. A guy very near and dear to my heart. I was way into, obviously, Jordan. And then as I really got to love the game, I started finding these role players as I'm watching the game. So I just fell in love with. And I actually discovered Rambis when he was a Hornet. So I got a lot of Rambis. Just a role player, a team guy. Never complained, did his job. Got that Wayne Rounds because there's Rambis in there. Big, big Rambis fan. And this is one of my favorite cards of all time, the Angry Rambis. I always loved that card. When I got back into collecting, first box I opened was a Skybox in the mild manner. Clark Kent on the background, on the back of the card. So maybe I'll do some more of these. I hate to say I'm doing this for myself, but I'm doing this kind of to document and for posterity. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Here's the Jordans. And again, with the Jordans, I just took the best ones. One touched them. There it is. That's all you got to do. In my opinion. Do whatever you want. That's your hobby. There's a copy of the Fleer. Nice good copy there. Nice top and bottom. Not too bad. Maybe not a 10, but I don't need a 10. I think that's a 10. That's a card I would have actually pulled as a kid out of the pack. So I'm more about era correct than like it being a perfectly, and I'm a pretty picky prick with stuff. And there's certain cards I do want looking nice, but I mean, at the end of the day, for me, it's just got to be like it was back in the day. And this is what we pulled. This is exactly it's the same stuff that's been sitting around. I'm just opening it 30 years later. Just a bunch of Jordan. I went back and got a bunch of hoops. Again, I learned the mistake of just, why do I need all of these? I would have rather spent this money on other, more variety. And I'll probably liquidate some of this over time. Maybe do some giveaways on the channel here. Who knows? We'll see where this goes. I have no expectation. I'm just having fun today, and this is what I'm doing today. Doing this video, sharing with you, as well as going through and enjoying it myself. And the basketball, I'm historically more into basketball, I guess, but I don't know, the older I get, the baseball was really pulling me hard. I got my Magic, Bird, all the typical, Barkley, some Barry Sanders back here. All this stuff. This is, if you're a guy my age, exactly, looking at this, exactly what I'm about, because you're probably about the same type of stuff. And I do see myself getting into more vintage and the baseball stuff, but football cards just don't hold I got some cool ones too. They don't hold my interest as much, but there's some classics I just like having. And I'm sure I'll get some down the road. I'll buy more football. This is a great one. Emmitt Smith, rookie. Pretty cool. Just fun stuff. Montana, Jerry Rice, another big Rice fan, but I can't afford a lot of his stuff yet. I just haven't bought it. I shouldn't say that. I just don't want to go in the poorhouse. You got to see here, I got a lot of guitars, so a lot of my money's tied up in guitars, so, you can't have it all. And I don't think I'd want it all, because then you're not appreciative of it, and you become a real shithead. And all this here is just spillover. It's just stuff that hasn't been penny sleeved or maybe not worthy of it, or top loaded stuff I just didn't top load, or might not see a top load, but it's, there's still good cards. Don Sutton, Jack Clark, Mark Grace. No real giant big fish in here. Not that there really are at all anyways in this stuff, the junk wax. But I want to keep this stuff nice, because I'm not going to buy 20 boxes of 1989 score. I'm going to only get a couple over my lifetime and enjoy them. But then, I don't want to just keep throwing all this junk wax everywhere. Just, to me, it's not the fun of it. I don't want tons of it. I just want the stuff I like and nice examples. And here's all the overspill. And I'm sure I'm going to make a Mike Schmidt slot. I just didn't get to it yet, a Dave Winfield slot. So all your recommendations are welcome. Here I got the, I'm sure you guys have seen these. I went and top loaded a bunch of the collectors. These are really, really cool. I love these 88 collectors. So I have those all down here, all in order. In fact, I still have one I didn't open yet. Still got this section to open. Just having fun. This is the whole point, is fun. I'm not competing with anyone. I'm not stressing. I'm not, joining breaks and trying to buy all this crazy shit and try to hit these. None of that, man. This is supposed to be the opposite. I would much rather just look at this old Olajuwon card. You know what I mean? This is cool shit. The stuff that makes me happy, and just collect what makes you happy. This is what makes me happy. And that's all I would say. Don't go in the poorhouse. Don't get divorced over this stuff. I mean, have some sensibilities. There's so much of it out there. Don't ever get FOMO. If there's a card you want, it's out there. It will find you when the time is right. In the meantime, enjoy what you got. Well, we might as well keep going here. This is the last box at the end of the line here. And I appreciate you joining me if you're watching this. Just a guy digging through some cards here, showing you what I got. Now, this had to be 2021. I don't know what I was thinking. Anybody else out there ever do this? You just look back and you're like, why did I buy so much of this one? Like I bought 89 hoops like it was like I'd never get any again, I mean, I love it. It was actually one of the first this is like when basketball, my passion, first met up with like the sports cards, So, but man, when I was playing a ton of basketball and then these came out, it was just a huge, huge deal. And then the Fleer too, obviously. But I don't know why I bought so much of it. And I penny sleeved everything. But you know what? I don't regret it either. I mean, the better stuff I do on penny sleeved, I don't know. Do I just go the distance? Maybe I will penny sleeve all this. This is all of the, this is pretty much all the rest of the good basketball. It's kind of mixed, but it's just all 89 hoops. You can just pull this, all this kind of stuff. Packed fresh right into the box. I looked at it and checked it out, pulled some of the Jordans and all that stuff. This was a deal where I got like 5 boxes and sold 2, and I don't know, something like that. It was a multiple box deal. And I sold some and opened some. That's pretty much that. So I'm going to go through. There's actually a lot. This all looks pretty, because you have to understand a guy like me. I don't know, Derek. Who the hell is this? Chivois. I don't remember him. Danny Young. But Scott Hastings, I mean, he might get a penny sleeve. I remember him. So anybody I remotely like, I probably will penny sleeve at least. Then the rest, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how to organize this because here's a bunch of top loaded. I just must have randomly top loaded these when I was newly back in the hobby and just didn't want to mess nothing up. I don't know if all these Olajuwons. First of all, I don't need all these. I mean, there's tons. Some of these are really cool. I'm glad I have them back. Some of my favorites. These are just awesome, cheap, low-hanging wax. That's why that's the channel name, because that's the stuff I grab. I'm not worried about all these boxes and breaks and all this stuff. It does annoy me, and it does affect more than you realize. But for me personally, in my own little collection, I just grab the low-hanging stuff. This is the stuff I grew up with. Thankfully, that's why I feel bad for these kids, man, nowadays, because they don't have anything that's just like, I'm an inner city kid buying hoops for 50 cents. You know what I mean? Like we weren't poor, but we were definitely not rich, So like for me, when I had my paper out, I can go and buy some Fleer, go and buy some hoops. But man, nowadays, it's crazy money. I don't even know what a jumbo pack is. What's 40, 50 bucks? Do they even make a jumbo pack? BJ Armstrong. It's just a lot of this stuff. Here, I'll kind of skate through some of it. Just the best of the rest. Some Danny Ferry rookies. There's another version of that. Drazen Petrovic. These are really cool. I got to go still through all this basketball and organize it better. From right around here, Angola, New York. I'm in Buffalo, so hometown native. I love this card. I'm glad I got a couple of these. Look at that. That's awesome. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of Leitner. I don't know why I got 3 of them. I don't need 3, I guess. But we'll see. Some of this stuff down the road will probably get liquidate it and make some room. Because if I could sell some of this extra stuff and get more of my 70s and 80s baseball, and basketball too, for that fact, just more, just to kind of round out the collection. I don't need multiples of all this stuff. Especially if I'm not, especially not grading it. There's a nice Larry Johnson. Oh, nice. Alonzo Mourning rookie. This is the stuff I just love, and just sharing it with you guys, showing you what I collect mostly. Oh yeah, there's some bigger cards I'd love to own, of course. But I don't feel like I'm ever missing anything, or like I don't ever get that gut feeling. We just saw Kenny Skywalker. I get more excited over this than anything. And the Jordan rookies, I got to be honest, like since I've gotten into the hobby, everyone's kind of, I don't say everyone, but a lot of people have ruined that damn card. And it's so faked. It's like, I don't even, it's like what it represents now. I almost don't even want it. Actually, I'd rather have the second year Fleer. A lot of people think it's an ugly gray card. I think that's cool. He's dribbling up court. I'd rather have a second year Fleer, which I'm sure people tried copying that too, but I feel like it's a little more, it's just a card I'd rather have. This is a cool one. I'm sure you guys know about this one. The old Sam Vincent with Jordan right there with the number 12 rented jersey. I guess there's no name on back either. It just says 12. It's a last minute situation. This is the fun. This is the fun for me. And this side's all more the same. Now, see, here, some of this stuff is probably worthy of a top loader. I got a bunch. That's an awesome Don Nelson card. But I won't go through all that. I mean, this is crazy. It's just more of the same. I mean, it is cool, but I don't know how worth it is here to go through all this stuff in a, trying to make this somewhat concise. There's another version of this too where he's in a sweater. I'm sure I have it in here somewhere. Ooh, the Mark Jackson Menendez brothers card. Anyways, oh, it's a weird one. More stuff like that. I guess while we're here, I had probably at one time, maybe, I don't know, as many as 150 to 200 graded cards. Maybe more, not a ton. But this is what I have left of the graded stuff in this banker's box. I guess we'll just kind of go through it like this. But I'm not, I guess I am mostly anti-grading. I just think it's silly now looking back at it. And it depends, hey, if you're making money with it, if it's something that's, there's old cards you want to get encapsulated and not just in a top loader or a one touch that could come apart, I get grading to a point, but I think we've lost our minds. I got a little weird too. I remember sending in stuff in 2022, like rookies and stuff from the basketball. I'm like, what am I, looking back, I'm like, what was I doing? Be lucky if I broke even. All right, so let's go through the graded stuff. Mostly Bo Jackson. And this is the stuff I'm just going to hang on to since I already have it. I know I'm a hypocrite. Maybe one day I'll sell it all, but I don't know. I already have it, so what the hell? Bo Jackson. At least I bought some decent stuff I like. Nice graded example. You can see how mostly 9s here. This is just the regular Fleer, but I do have the glossy. Got the glossy version too. Or street terms, just the Tiffany, even though it's not Tiffany. We know what you mean. Got the glossy there. Another, hey, speaking of Tiffany, there's a Tiffany. And that's an 8, and it looks every bit of an 8. In fact, that's a pretty generous 8. This was probably something I got, I'm sure, inexpensively, and I just wanted an example of the Tiffany. It was probably one of the first ones. There's Bo Jackson again, a 9. This is all my graded stuff. I mean, will I buy more graded? I'm sure I will, but I'm not chasing it. Right now, I'm all about these singles. Oh, I got another version. This was one I got in my this was one I graded myself. I pack pulled and graded SGC 9. I did an SGC order, which overall was a great experience. I really enjoyed it. This I bought. I don't know why I bought this graded. I think I just got excited with all, getting back in the hobby, and I was getting impressed by this logo. I thought this was super important for a minute. And I'm not saying it's got no value, but man, yeah, I'm good with grading. I got a whole box here of one touches. It's a great card. I love that card. So I don't mind having this in a slab. Why not? This baby I found, I just wanted a good example, but I happened to find this in just an old SGC 88, and I thought that kind of made it just unique and kind of cool too. So, man, I got to look back at some of this. I'm curious myself. There's no way I paid more than 25, 30 bucks for that. But even if I did, love this card. And I think it's pretty cool with the old school SGC. I could tell you what they used to do there with the hologram. So yeah, you guys know that card. I don't know why I'm showing you that. Another Tiffany. Or no, Topps Traded. I'm sorry. Topps Traded. But it does have the brighter back. Yeah, this, I don't know why. I think I got this at a golden auction for like $5 or $6, and it just like has been hanging around. Still cool though, but nothing special. Just Jerry Rice, what, 89? Score. Love the wrestling. I still got some wrestling stuff left over, and I really, really, man, the CGC slabs are awesome looking. I really like these. I think this is my favorite overall slab, to be honest with you. Classy, simple, shows off the card. There's Hogan. Feels very thick. Feels sturdier than the others. Same card. I just happen to have that one too. Must have been some situation. Love Rambus. I'm a huge Rambus fan, and I don't mind having that in an 8. Actually, these went up a little bit. The 9s went way up. But then again, probably every card in this set has gone up. Guys chasing that set. These were also some diamonds. I was getting some golden auctions for a while. Like, these were super cheap. I was picking these up every week like crazy. Nobody was buying the 70s basketball stuff. Even on a 6, I thought it's a pretty good looking 6. I'm talking like $8, $10, $12, like stuff I couldn't pass up. I'm like, man, for a Kareem like that, absolutely. And I got the same card here. This must have been another week, but I grabbed another one. Probably because it was such a good deal. I'm sure at some point, get rid of one of them. Probably get rid of the 8, to be honest. Another one. I love this card. Look at that. Julius Erving. Alvin Hayes and Ronnie Brewer. Yeah. Definitely know my hoops a little better. But I do my baseball. I'm actually catching up with baseball watching these old games. That's a great card. 81 Lakers leaders. Norm Nixon and Abdul Jabbar. Love that. And then it's just some Jordan staples. I don't ever mind having any kind of graded Jordan, especially the classics. So I know we saw a bunch of it here. It just seems kind of silly to have even more of it graded. And then this was in with my SGC order when I did it. Like, this should probably be sold. But it's just hanging around. I love this set too. 89 Fleer. Great set. That's an older slab. Oops. Oh my God. But you get the idea here. I've picked this up too at some kind of deal. This might have been a Ken Golden auction deal. There was a lot of cheap stuff I nabbed there. It was $1 each to send these home. I couldn't believe it. It seemed too good to be true. We pay $10, and 10 slabs came back. There we have it. Phil Jackson. I don't know why I got this. Seems like it was not that I hate the card, but I don't need this graded. It's hilarious. I have this in I have this in a 9 slab. Phil Jackson going nuts about a call. So there's my graded stuff. I feel like there's more hanging around, and I'll show you the shelves I have behind me. Besides that, I have some bulk underneath this table. It's just pretty much commons of, maybe I'll show you a peruse. It's just Score Topps, 88 Topps, 89 Topps, a bunch of extra stuff like that. Let's take a peruse. Nothing exciting here, my friends. Just supplies down on the bottom left there. My penny sleeves and all that stuff. I do keep some of it up here, though. That's all just junk wax commons. What do we have here? More 89.90. Overflow. I mean, this is crazy. I do not need this. I freaked out. You could tell what I like. This is the stuff I went nuts on when I got back in the hobby. I got to liquidate a lot of this. Score bulk. Not too bad. At least it's multiple years. And more of the same you see here. What do we got? Topps, Fleer, Donruss, all that good stuff. And I do need to get this table out of here, and just kind of a temporary setup. I did want to show you guys everything. It was much easier just to bring a table, but this has been set up here for, boy, since before Christmas. Time to get back to work with the music. It's summertime. I got a lot of shows, so I'm going to have to get this back to the true purpose of what it really is. But I'll still keep some cards in here, and if we pan around this way, the old junk wax rip station. This will be coming next. Just a little fun one. We'll just take a cruise through here. It's kind of boring, but this is all my eBay and Facebook Marketplace stuff. Currently, I have a Jimmy Hart autograph lot. Al Horford rookie. Kukoc rookie. Yeah, nothing much, just a few items. Few items so I can buy more items. And then here's the limited football I have. It's a lot of Bills stuff here in Western New York. You can tell that already. Nothing too crazy. Pretty much 88, 89, 90. More 89, 90. I don't think there's 80. There's more under here. That's where I think the 89 is. But I'm not going to. More of this kind of stuff. Low hanging wax. That's the channel name. It's what you got. But this is stuff I love here. And it's more of the football, you know. And then back there, I have a COM-C. I have a COM-C box starting. I'm trying to be a little more strategic than just send them a bunch of stuff I got to take care of. But I'll probably lot the rest on a Facebook Marketplace deal and call it a day. Always keeping the top loaders out. Penny sleeves, dividers, top loaders. And I just got these. Are really nice, actually. Never heard of that brand. Got them on Amazon. They're really nice. So I figured I'd try them out. Got 20 of them to try. A little different than the the Ultra Pro or whatever. So I think it's safe to say I could use some more organization before like buying tons more boxes and ripping in all these packs. That's another reason why I slowed down with the ripping. It just, man, I don't want to be just overloaded with all this stuff and then it becomes like a burden, you know. It's supposed to be fun. And even the short time I've been back into it, I mean, that's a good amount of cards for a short time. The basement, I have a ton. I have like all the old boxes from the boxes I opened, you know, the empty boxes I have in a couple of bins, you know, neatly stowed away, but still it can get away real quick. So that's why I put the brakes on a little bit, started getting some singles, which has been super, super fun. However, yeah, and I'm going to strategically weed out a lot of these doubles, especially with this hoops we're looking at again. Boy, oh boy. It was like survival mode hoops buying. I don't know what I was thinking there, but definitely do some more organization. Here's the wrestling figures. This is just classic stuff. So I have those all organized. I re-roped that ring in 2020. And yeah, some Kurt Rambis, more Kurt Rambis stuff. Got the jersey up. And then behind it, just a little bit. I don't know if you guys remember the hoops. I used to love these. I still love them. Those full-size hoops cards. I'll show you here. I got a couple of lots a while back and decided when I did the room here just to have like at least one door where it kind of looked like my old room. The gaudy kid look, just plastered. But these are awesome. These are really cool. And I have doubles of all the ones up. I even framed like the Jordan one and some things that you'll see. Just really cool nostalgic stuff. When I first saw these, I got so excited. So yeah, just more fun. Keeping the theme in the room. Obviously, I'm a musician, so obviously music and the sports stuff. There's a copy of the original poster I used to have back in the day. Those originals are pretty pricey. And then there's the old wax ripping station. I'll pop that up fairly quickly, and actually can clean it up fairly quickly. However, man, that setup's been sitting there a while. Just got busy with life. Busy with work, the music thing's picking up now that we're getting into spring. So, but yeah, we will get back to it for sure. We will definitely get back to some of this. So that's what that is. And some other nonsense. Some old action figures, and we're looking at the wall here. Have a really cool Bo Jackson 89 All-Star Game replica jersey. Really nice item there. And as we zoom in, just some framed up favorites. There's the hoops card I was talking about, just framing up some fun stuff. The Beckett's, those are my two favorite Beckett's. I like the Wayne Gretzky one too. I have to find a spot for that. And this is just a really professional photo grade copy of the dirtiest foul of all time, Mr. Rambis getting clotheslined by McHale. And here's a Rambis shelf. A lot of this is kind of semi-impromptu, but I have a lot of Rambis stuff, so I'll just kind of put up, this kind of changes from time to time. Another cool picture from, I actually got that from, I think he was with the Sacramento Kings, from an actual press, some kind of a press photo. These two I didn't realize until I dug in. He had it, when he came back after he left the Lakers, his first game back, they had he dedicated a can of Crush to him, so I found those actually empty. on eBay. And then here's just some Rambus stuff. Like I said, I kind of switched this stuff out here and there. I do have the graded version of that 86 Fleer. Just stuff I like to see, you know, probably much like yourselves. I just like stuff I like to walk in and look at. And the top row here are like five of my, maybe even my top five favorite cards, but definitely five of them. There's the 79 Reggie. Man, it's so cool. I still can't believe I have some of these. It's pretty neat. Check out my first video and you will see me open up that Billy Ripken card. Actual fuckface. There's the 80 Henderson. You guys know what all this stuff is. And the strawberry rookie on the end. Just stuff, man. Just never gets old to me. And I do have plans for a lot more shelving on this wall. Thank you for joining me. That's all I got so far. That's kind of where I'm at. Doing the junk wax, enjoying myself with singles. And most people, most collectors are not 24/7 content people. You know what I mean? They're just not. They're guys like me and you. I'm a musician and I do this on the side and I love it. And it's my thing to escape. But if I did this every day, I would hate it. You know, I just would. It's my little escape. And I would suggest to some people, if it's getting too crazy, just take a break, man. There's a million things to do. Just, it's always going to be there. There will always be 88 big baseball to open and 90 Don Ross and all this stuff. This stuff ain't going nowhere. In fact, it's only, hopefully, only getting cheaper. I'm going to make another video here right after this, opening up this junk. See what we get in there. And that's the fun of it. I get my coffee. I get a game going. For me, it's a break from the guitar and from the music, you know, and from the other things I do in my daily life. So hopefully that's like that for you. Don't worry about, you know, collect how you collect. Don't worry about what people, you know, the meatheads in the comments. Don't worry about that shit. There's always going to be people criticizing. There's always going to be someone in the comments making fun of your stuff. Who cares? I got a Kurt Rambis shirt on. I collect Kurt Rambis. I collect Doug Drabeck. It's what I like. All right, so I will see you guys soon. I hope you have as much fun collecting as I have been. And we'll help each other hopefully avoid some of these pitfalls because, man, there's some sharks out there. Jeff Wilson. All right, I'm kidding. Happy collecting. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it.